What is up, mother flippers? Today, we're going to be doing a review over an estranged bottle, over a bottle of Angel's Envy. Angel's Envy. Now, it's been echoing throughout the bourbon and whiskey community for some time now, and when it initially came out, there's a lot of people that hated it, but now it seems that the whiskey community is coming around. I remember 3 years ago I got into the rye. This is not the rye. I've never had the actual Angel's Envy bourbon. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pour ourselves a glass, we're gonna do a review. If that sounds like something you are interested in, then stay tuned and let's find out if this is a sipper or a skipper. Boom, let's go. Mr. Liquor Sipper Whiskey Reviews, because some of this whiskey sucks! Now, I have to give credit where credit is due, guys. This is a very beautiful bottle. This captures my eyes. It's cool because of on the back, you have the angel wings on the back. Really captures the essence of what they're trying to portray. This could be the most beautiful bottle I think I've ever seen when it comes to bourbon, personally. Other than Bland's. Bland's is a really cool bottle too, but it just seems that sometimes people get really caught up in how things look and then the product doesn't produce per se. But this one right here, as far as the rye is concerned, I love the rye. Now, the classification of this bottle is a straight bourbon, finished in port wine barrel. The company actually, surprisingly, comes from Bacardi Limited, if you didn't know. I didn't know that until I actually started doing some research on this. Now, distillery itself, or distilleries as it was noted here, is actually undisclosed. This bottle here comes in at 86.6 proof. The age is, there's actually not an age statement, though they do say it is expected that this bottle or the juice that is inside will be at least 6 years old. This comes in at a mash bill of 72% corn, 18% rye, and then 10% malted barley. Color, it's a copper in nature. If you couldn't tell already, I like this bottle. It is very, very beautiful. The color of it itself is just captivating, especially when it comes in at an MSRP of anywhere between $56 up to $65, which is countering the rye that comes in anywhere between 99 to maybe even 110 bucks. So a little backlog on this. Angel's Envy was actually originally founded by Wes Henderson, son of late industry icon Lincoln Henderson. But before his passing in 2013, Lincoln worked selecting and blending whiskeys for Angel's Envy. Angel's Envy whiskeys made their first appearance in 2011, and then since they actually have had 3 ongoing expressions so far, being the cask strength bourbon finished in port barrels, bourbon finished in port barrels, and then rye finished in rum casks. But then in early 2015, the Angel's Envy company was acquired by Bacardi Ltd or Limited, and in November of 2016, the company opened their Louisville Distilling Company, located downtown Louisville, Kentucky. Now, some other cool information. So, Angel's Envy port finish is blended in small batches, anywhere between 8 to 12 barrels at a time. Now, the company states that the bourbon is typically aged up to 6 years, as I noted here in the beginning of when I was trying to give you guys some information. It is then finished in ruby port wine cask for an additional 3 to 6 months. And then for the finishing process, the company uses 60-gallon ruby port barrels made from French oak, which are imported directly from Portugal. So that is pretty cool. And also, if you are no stranger to Angel's Envy, at least you've had one or the other, it seems to be the general consensus, then you'll kind of get the idea of where that strong flavor profile comes from and what separates it from a lot of the other bourbons itself. All right, so let's go ahead and, well, let's see what this is about here. After 40 years spent upholding bourbon's strict traditions and heritage, our master distiller decided to try something new. Lincoln Henderson began with an exceptional Kentucky straight bourbon and then finished it in ruby port wine barrels for up to 6 months, resulting in a whiskey of unprecedented smoothness and character. This unique process encompasses the spirit with flavors of vanilla, ripe fruit, maple syrup, toast, and bitter chocolate for an unconventionally delicious finish. Sometimes these things lie. So you never know until you give it a try. Now let's go ahead and pop the top on this Angel's Envy, and let's see if it is in fact all that it's cracked up to be. Well, I don't know why everything's rhyming like fucking Cat in a Hat today, but it is, and that is one of my favorite parts because to me that's how you can identify how fresh it is, and that one seems pretty fresh. I liked how it just like jizzed at the end with just a little, like a little spritz, a little spray at the end. Yeah. It went all over me. Alrighty. Little pour there. Who knows, when I turn this camera off, I might just finish this whole bottle. We're gonna find out now, aren't we? Set it up right here. Let's do it right here, right here. How about front and center so you guys can see how elegant and beautiful that bottle is? For those of you that haven't seen it, get familiar with it, because if you find it, then you should probably, more than likely, pick it up. I know I'm not gonna be disappointed in this one. There's no fucking way. Now, let's just calm down for a moment. It's time for that traditional and the, without a doubt, Mr. Liquor Sipper cultural nosing for newbies. And we're coming around. All right. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. This is exactly what I thought. This smells like an angel's drug screening for a job somewhere in heaven. That could be good or bad, I don't know. It also smells like angel anal sex mixed with a little bit of envious scent of angel's heavenly twat. Okay guys, we're gonna do away with the weirdisms now. Let's get to the real nose here. And initially right off the top, the first thing I smelled was that hit of light oak, and then followed by vanilla, which is your typical flavors, right? Or your typical scent that you're gonna get from a bourbon. But I get a little bit of like some dark berry jam, maybe some blueberry, but maybe a little bit of raspberry, and don't forget about the snazberries. I don't even know if a snazberry is a real thing. I don't know, I just remember it from Willy Wonka. Willy Whiskey, Willy Whiskey, Willy Whiskey. All right. As far as, I don't know, there's like a little bit of peanut shells in here. What did this thing say? It says, maple syrup. I mean, the maple is definitely in there, especially if any one of y'all have tried the rye. The maple is definitely in there. Vanilla, I guess they said ripe fruit. I said darker fruits, your raspberries and your blueberries is definitely in there. Kind of like grapes, maybe a little bit, some grapes in there. This says vanilla, ripe fruit, maple syrup, toast, and bitter chocolate. I do not get any of this dark bitter chocolate in this scent here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go to the palate. Okay. First and foremost, it is not as good as the rye, especially for people that are liking the sweeter profile. If you like a Manhattan, on the other hand, which I do, but it just, this right here is one of those things. If you're trying to compare a rye to a bourbon, you're gonna be hard pressed to do so, because the elements are just a little bit different. The mash bills are different. This one, it's definitely darker and fruitier, but it's like the heavy spice or something that's making the fruit taste a little bit bitter, and the whiskey a little bit bitter on the back end. It's not bad. To me, it's not as good as the rye, which all this does to me is encourage me to go out and purchase the rye because, again, as I've stated time and time again, I like the sweeter profile stuff. If you are interested in Manhattans, which I just did a review on the Bullet Manhattan cocktail that's already pre-made, I did that. That actually reminds me of this, or vice versa. This Angel's Envy slightly reminds me of that. However, this is you know, it's coming at a higher proof. Not that, what was it, 75 proof behind me. obviously sipper or skipper. It's gonna be a sipper. It's just you guys saw the enthusiasm and where I was at with sipping this, and I immediately thought that this was gonna be it. Does this taste like $100 bourbon to me? Let me try that again and see. No, the answer is no. It actually still strikes me as about a $60 bourbon. It is super smooth, I give it that. The thing that I don't like about it is it reminds me of NyQuil a little bit. Sorry guys, I hate to say it, but I guess it just has that element of NyQuil to me. More like I don't taste anything else. It may be because so many different cough syrups and stuff, they have that blueberry or like a raspberry type taste that they do in order to, I guess, to mask that bad taste from the medicine that you're taking. Unfortunately, that's kind of what this reminds me of. If you like the darker fruits and you like the bitterness, because it just tastes like they threw some bitters in here, I don't know. Also, if you're not a big Portugal or port wine individual, that just maybe you're not into wine like that, or Portugal wine, then maybe this is not the bottle for you. Is this something I would keep on the shelf for me after this bottle is gone? Yes, because I like the bottle shape, but if that's the case, then I might as well just get the rye and sip on something that I actually like a little bit more. I think it was the Angel's Envy rye that I initially had for, I think that was my first rye that I had ever had, that I, even till this day, I think that is the benchmark. So, all that being said, you guys know how I feel. I give this one a 5 on as far as the Cracked Glencairn for a rating of how it looks, the smell, or the nose. I'd probably give this a 3. Overall, I give this about a 3. A 3 1/4? A 3 nonetheless. It's not terrible, it's not bad, but because I can see that there's an audience for this. It's hard for me to destroy Angel's Envy because the product that they have produced within the rye category is so good. But this one just doesn't meet that standard to me, and I may actually just, we'll see what happens when I get back to this, because I'll put it up whenever I'm editing if this is a 3, or it's probably just a 3 for me. It's gonna be a 3. All right, I'm sorry, I keep jumping back and forth, I know, but this is all stuff, my real reaction in real time. It's the first time I've had it, so don't kill the messenger. I'm here to review, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's okay. That's why we have so many different people on here, so we can review everything. I'm still gonna finish this little glass here. Anyways, appreciate you guys jumping into the glass with me today. If you guys have any suggestions, any information, you can see down in the comments and some of the other ones where I've mispronounced stuff, whatever. Feel free to school me up. That's what I'm here for. I don't want to give you guys any crazy information that's not true. I also do my best not to give you guys any biased information. Even though I love Angel's Envy, this Angel's Envy in particular is just not the one for me. But there is an audience for it, and I could see who would like it, especially for those that like to drink NyQuil before you go to bed. Anyway, appreciate you guys jumping in the glass with me today, sipping on some information, and don't forget, tell your friends, tell your homies, tell everyone in between about Mr. Liquor Sipper, and until then, we will be the underground kings of whiskey YouTube reviews. And until next time, cheers, and keep on sipping, motherfuckers. No, that one was weird. All right, later, guys.